So I am 2 chapters into book 2 of Dungeon Crawler Carl. And I think one of my biggest questions is being answered, which is how what this whole book series is about. Because apparently I don't know how many books there are. Maybe 7 and he's planning 9 or something like that, or 10. But my guess initially was that this book, because it was taking a long time to get through the first level, and I think I'm almost halfway through, maybe a little less than halfway through, but about halfway through, and we're only through the first level. So there's no chance that this book, I think, goes anything past the 3rd level. So I'm guessing book 1 is the 3rd level, and maybe every single book that he has is just 2 levels or something like that. But I want to talk about a few different things. The first is I don't know what to talk about first. There's really 3 things I want to talk about. Let's start with the easiest. Agatha. Agatha's weird. There's something different about Agatha that I don't quite know. I don't quite think is all there. Like, she disappeared. She's like squashing bugs with her shopping cart. There's something going on there that I think. And there's an even another point where she wasn't. They edited her out, or maybe she just wasn't visible. She's almost like a vampire who can't show up on screens or something like that. Maybe she is a vampire. I don't know. She seems like something strange. I'm thinking potentially she was one of the I can't remember some of the names, but one of like the people that were dropped on Earth that were like, gonna monitor and set culture for Earth or something like that. Maybe she was that. But there's something, whatever there is, there's something weird about her there. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Or that's the first thing we just talked about. The second thing is Matt Dinniman has a little bit of a foot thing. The stuff with Carl and like all the little new achievements are hilarious. I love them. Anytime they pop up, I get kind of excited that I get to just listen to those because they're really fun. And the voice actor does a great job with those. But the foot ones are just so strange. I just keep thinking, does Matt Dinniman have something with feet? Does he have a bit of a foot fetish? So it just keeps popping into my head anytime those are coming up because it's a little overboard. And like Carl just got his little pedicure kit that he has to take care of his feet and then everyone's going to watch him. There's just a little strange, It's a funny little note added to it, but I don't know how much deeper I want the book to get into that. But they just beat the Burrow boss to get down to level 2. That was really interesting. They got through level 2 and they just had that interview with that bug lady who was also in this a few tournaments ago, and she was the one that got to the 13th level and then just took a deal with them. So I'm sure that they're going to offer deals to Carl when he gets to different levels, like deeper levels. And I don't know if he's going to take them. He feels like he's going to be on this righteous path to finish it and maybe like restore his planet or something like that. That's my ultimate guess for what happens. I just keep thinking maybe there's going to be something where if he gets down to the last level and he defeats this dungeon or defeats like all the whole game, maybe they just reinstate his world as it was. I feel like that's kind of going to be the way that it goes. So that interview was really funny. I really liked just the whole dynamic of that. And it was interesting too. She mentioned, I forgot what the interviewer's name was, but she mentioned something like it was almost in passing and then she like corrected herself. Again, I'm listening to this, so I might miss some things, but she did that. So it seemed like there was some like larger conglomerate. Like we're getting the sponsors of the tournament and how they sponsor different ones. There's all sorts of interesting things that are going on there. And I don't quite know really what's going to happen with it. So that's another strange thing. But I think all in all, so I'm really enjoying this. It's a really fun listen. I do think if the books continue like this, I might get action fatigue. Like I don't like action movies all that much. Like if a car chase scene is longer than like 30 seconds, I am so bored of that. And I feel like this book is kind of like that, where you just have one battle scene after another with maybe a little bit of dialogue in between. But I'm a little tired of, okay, now they have to face a new boss and now they're going through this whole thing. There's a little bit of character development that is going on that is a little deeper than I thought it was going to be. And that's kind of nice. I don't mind that. And I want more of that, I think. I think one of my favorite parts of some of these books, like if I'm talking about Lord of the Rings or, Harry Potter, some of these great, great books, is I just love the downtime that you get with the characters, where they're just like enjoying a meal, having a good time, laughing. Like I would love if Carl would just kind of sit with some other of these players and just like have a good time and just chat and like have a good dinner together. I don't know if you can really have a lot of downtime in this novel. It just seems very one thing after the next, but that's probably my only complaint of this novel so far. I mean, I don't think it's like the greatest written thing ever, but it's just fun, and I really love a good fun story. But I think that if it continues to go where it's just so action oriented, I might get a little fatigue of like, okay, now it's just the same thing, but just a different boss, and they have to find the weakness, and yada yada yada. Because even when they were dealing with the burrow boss, the ball of swine or whatever that thing was, the like how they defeated it in my mind. Again, I'm listening, so I had to listen to that scene maybe 2-3 times, and I still don't really get how they did it. I that's my own fault listening, because I'm like somewhat of a passive listener, and I'm going for walks, and like I have to watch out for things so I don't trip over things. So like I'm not wholly perfectly focused on the book at that time, but there are some things that I think are just harder for me to visualize. There's some things that are easy to visualize. There's some things that are a little harder for me to visualize, and some of the boss battles. Wow, some of the boss battles were a little harder to visualize. Like he paints a picture, but I don't know. I don't care that much about some of the strategy behind some of those things. Like it's too action oriented to me. I want to get a little deeper into, I guess, character development. So that's maybe my only complaint about the novel right now. It's really fun. I am right where they're essentially like, they just finished the interview and they just got a ton of different viewers. I think like they have like billions of viewers on theirs. So I'm happy about that. It was hilarious that the cat was super thrilled about the interview and was just a natural with it. That made me laugh too. So there's great parts of the book. I'm really loving it so far. So I'm just going to keep plowing ahead. I'm going to finish this book and probably swap back and forth between this and some Sanderson. So make sure you subscribe. You can like the video too. And I'll see you in the next one.